Here we go. Welcome. Kalimera, Kalispera. Whatever time you're watching, this is Mappa. Welcome to another edition. I'm Stel. Sasso is here. This pod is brought to you by Inspire Sports Management. As you can see at the bottom, we have a very special guest. I like to call the gunman, a guy that scored several goals for Paralimni this season. A gentleman who is a really, really nice guy, genuine at that. Alex Vucenovic. Alex, how you doing, bro?
Really good, really good. Happy to be here.
Thank you for joining us. And before we start, Alex, in Cyprus, did people call you Alex or Alexi?
It was Alex, to be honest.
Okay.
In Serbia and Austria, it's Aco. This is the shortcut for my name. But like here in Cyprus, it was Alex.
Nice. Because I've got a friend that's not from Cyprus, and whenever we went on holiday, people would call him Alexi, and they say, "Are you Greek?"
Yeah.
Doesn't look Greek. I could tell you this, he doesn't look Greek. So
no, Alex was nice. Alex, I was okay with Alex.
Nice. Good. Well, bro, let's start from the beginning. Let's start from when you were young, or younger, because you're 25. My goodness, you're still young. So when you were younger, watching football, growing up, which footballers did you admire? Did you like watching?
For me, at the start, it was Ronaldinho. At his time at Barca, and then it was Cristiano Ronaldo at Manchester United. I had my first jersey, my first original jersey, let's say, was from him. It was the blue jersey, which he scored against Arsenal, this one.
Oh, the free kick, yeah?
Yeah, and this one, my first jersey. So Ronaldo is my favorite player. Admire him especially, and I like to watch him. I love to watch him, and this is like when I grew up, these are the players which I looked up to.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in terms of your background, Transfermarkt tells us that you were born in Bosnia. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's right. Fun fact: my older brother is born in Austria.
Okay.
My younger brother is born in Austria. I'm the only one born in Bosnia.
Oh.
Because there was some how do I say it? Paper issues. My mom needed to go back for a time, and she was pregnant with me. So I was born there. I'm happy that I'm born there, to be honest, because I'm the only one who is not born in Austria from my brothers, and it's a special thing. But yeah, I'm born in Bosnia. But after I was born, I think 2-3 months, we moved again back to Austria, and I grew up in Austria.
Nice. And when you were playing football as a youngster, you went through various academies, if I'm not mistaken. You played for one or two teams. In terms of the development for Austrian players, we've seen many good Austrian players over the years. I remember when I was growing up, there was a striker called Tony Polster. You probably never heard of him, but he was an absolute...
Of course I heard of him.
Yeah?
Of course, yeah.
Fantastic
big name
players.
In Austria.
They see. I'm glad other people know who I'm talking about because I think you've shown my age. But
me, I'm pretending. I'm nodding and going yes.
He's a coach here in Austria in the 3rd division. I think I played one time against him. I'm not sure when he was the coach. Yeah. But he's a funny guy, really funny guy.
Yeah, he was a very good striker as well. I'm sure there are other quality Austrians. In fact, there's an Alaba Austrian. Was he?
Yeah, he's Arnautovic
as well.
Alaba.
There you go. So in terms of your growth and your development, can you tell us about your experiences as a youngster?
Yeah, Austria is how do I say it? It's not like in Cyprus, Austria has a big focus on the youth, the academies, the infrastructure for the youth is really good, I myself, I played to the, I think, under 15s. I played in a small club because my parents worked and they didn't have time to drive me to the big club, and for them it was like, let him play, maybe he will find a way for himself. After I was 15, they wanted me before that, they wanted, when I was 10 years old, I was already banging 40 goals per season in the kids, and I was better than the rest because it's outside the big cities and you're playing against the kids from smaller cities, so it's easier for me. But after I was 15, then I went to the bigger club, and then it's different, then there are the good players, and the academy here, especially at my place, I didn't play there because I moved from this club to the first team, from the second then to the first. I didn't need to go to the academy because I was too old already for the academy, because I moved too late. But the academy here in my city is one of the best in Austria. I'm sure it's one of the best in Austria. I don't know, there are some players like Grilic, who is playing for Ajax now, and Baumgartner, who is playing for Hoffenheim. I don't know if you don't know these names, if you're watching the Bundesliga and all these things. But the academies, there is such a big focus on the youth, and they are trying to put the players from the under 18 straight into the first team. If they see there is a big platform here, even Salzburg, and the academies is amazing. That's why I always say, I said to the kids in Cyprus, I think if you play against the kids from Austria, and I watched the under 19 games in Paralimni, because there is some players from our team who are playing there sometime, and I said to them, when I look at this football and I look at the Austrian academy football, it's like two worlds, from the quality and from the training and from everything. So this here is like another level right now. I think it's really good.
I can imagine. And the thing is, there's a question I'm going to ask, which is going to lead me on to Cyprus. Now, as you know, in Austria, RB Salzburg have won 11 titles in the last 13 years. A lot of money, a lot of development. We've seen players like Haaland. I think, if I'm not mistaken, was Upamecano there before he went to RB Leipzig? I can't remember. Yeah. I'm not sure. Obviously, they've monopolized their league now, and it's very, very difficult for teams like LASK and all these other clubs to challenge. Is it a good thing or a bad thing for Austria that RB Salzburg or Red Bull are involved?
To be honest, I think it's the best thing that could have happened to Austria. I think because if one team is pushing up the limits, the others need to follow. You know what I mean? I remember when I was playing here in the first division, I played like 20 games, but I still played, I think, three times against Salzburg. And at this time, Salzburg was in the midfield. It was Naby Keita, Samaseku, up front was Dabur, and these guys, And you come to the game, and I remember one time, it was the last game of the season. We went there to play against them. And some players were finishing their career on this game from Salzburg. And the coach came in our locker room and he said, yeah, guys, give everything, maybe we can have a nice finish, and hurt them a little bit, at the end. It was like 5-0 at the half time, There was like no chance if these guys want to play. I always say, if they play in they play in the Champions League, if they play in the league, there's like nobody that can come near to them. I think this is the only season this year, because I followed the season this year, where Sturm Graz, they came near to them. They had the last game against them, like second to last, I think. They played against them. If they won against them, they were first. So, but still, Salzburg managed to win, But this year was the first time, I think, Salzburg had problems to win the title. They still won it, of course, but they didn't win the cup, which is like a surprise here, I think, if they don't win the cup either. But I think it's the best thing that could have happened to Austrian football, because Austrian football is getting better and better now. The teams are putting in more money. The academies are getting better, because everybody looks up to Salzburg, how they are working, how they are developing the players, selling the players, which is crazy what they are doing. The names, Mane, Upamecano, Samaseku, Haaland, Dabur, these are names who are known now in the European football, and everybody came from Salzburg, Leimer, he was there, he's now at Bayern, it's crazy. So it's good. It's good for football in Austria.
Of course, and we know about the link between Salzburg and Leipzig. I think, was it Benjamin Šeško is on his way to Leipzig from Salzburg, and he had a very good season. I think he was the third top goal scorer. But the other two top goal scorers in the Austrian Bundesliga weren't from Salzburg, were they? I think one was from Austria Vienna, and the other one was
Buchstaller from Rapid.
Yeah, Rapid. Yeah,
Yeah. No,
he's like 34.
I think Šeško
isn't he?
was injured this year a lot.
Okay, right.
I think he was injured at a time, and Salzburg had a lot of injuries this year. You know, there's like the main players were injured for a long time, and they really had problems. Even because, especially they played Europe, then they played the Cup and everything, and not many teams are playing Europe here. You know, I think they were the only one this year who were playing Europe properly. You know, so. The player, I think, Burgstaller was the first this year, and Tabakovic was the second.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. Burgstaller is he played Schalke in Bundesliga in Germany. He came now back. I think it's his first season back at Rapid. He was already here before. Had a great season. Still, Rapid didn't have a good season, but he had a great season. I think he helped them to come to the place where they are now. I think they finished fourth. And Tabakovic, he scored, I think, in the first round. In the first round, he scored 3 goals, and in the second now, he scored 15. And now everybody's wanting to sign him. Yeah, I think Serie A is like 7 clubs who wants him, so it's good for him. But I don't know when the last time Šeško was third. So yeah, he was the only striker who scored many goals for Salzburg this year, I think. But they have so many good players. Everybody can score in this team. You know, it's a different quality when you watch them.
Absolutely. Well, this question leads me on to my next one, which is about clubs in Cyprus that are financially strong, like Aris, like Buffer. Is there a risk that with the money that these clubs have, Aris and Buffer will be the 2 teams to dominate Cyprus, just like Salzburg are doing in Austria?
It depends in which way they do it, you know. If they do it in the way like Salzburg is doing it, helping the country, you know, even making the name for the country. Let's say Salzburg put Austria on the football map. I can say that, I think, because without them, I don't know who could have come. I think they went one time in the semifinals of Europa League or something, you know, and it's good for the country, good for the league, good for the kids in this country, you know. And if Aris can manage to push the other teams to do more, to be more professional, you know, because there are still clubs in Cyprus which we know that are not paying salaries, and they don't care about these things, you know. It's like they don't care. And Aris is doing professional work. You can see that they are doing professional work. Even the infrastructure and the stuff around the club, I think you can see it from outside. Even when you play against them, you can see it from outside that something is different, you know. And they could push the other teams to do the same. Of course, you need money to do the same, but there is a lot of clubs in Cyprus with money who can do it, maybe a little bit smaller than Aris and PAFOS, you know. But it could be good for Cyprus, I think. Especially if Aris manages this year to qualify for Europe in the group stage, it's even better, you know. But I would never say it's a bad thing if some club tries to push the limits somewhere, you know.
Of course. And maybe Thasso can step in with this one, because you mentioned the other clubs in Cyprus that are big. I'm guessing you're saying Apoel, Omonia, Northosi, etc. But I don't know if a lot of the players in Cyprus, well, the non-Cypriot players, understand the financial difficulties that these clubs are having at the moment. Thasso, do you want to tell our viewers, or even Alex, how bad the situation is right now?
Well,
everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just throw Apoel and Omonia are historically the bigger teams in Cyprus, the 2 big ones. And at the moment, the finances for these 2 teams is suffering greatly. For instance, the stories about players at Apoel not being paid for 3, 4, 5 months. There's, Apoel are almost 40 million euros in debt at the moment and searching for investors. There were whispers There were whispers about Red Bull being involved with Apoel as well, which would have been very interesting, I think. But I don't think that's going to happen now. There's also Omonia. It's a big team that doesn't own the training ground that they train in. There's Anorthosis are having the kind of troubles financially that you wouldn't expect them to have, a team of their stature as well. So there's quite a few teams that have tried to keep up with Aris and PAFOS especially, and have not done that sustainably, and have just gone, which is a big problem in Cyprus. Is I think it's all about they only plan for the now, not for the future. And it's like what you said earlier, Alex, is with the youth teams, for instance, is that there doesn't seem to be investment in the young players to bring them through, which is very disappointing as well.
No, it's of course, players talk. We had some players from Apoel in our club, and players talk. I know what they said, and I don't want to go into that, but it's a big club, it's a really big club, and I think big clubs, they can maybe pull themselves out of these things, especially if some people are interested in the club and they know that Apoel has a lot of fans, a lot of history, and it's difficult, I think Anorthosis is the problem. They didn't manage to go to Europe this year. This is a huge thing for them. It's a lot of money if you go to Europe. Even Apoel, I think they waited to win the championship. They didn't manage to, which I understand. If you don't pay the players, when you think about it, the players still try to win the league. They didn't get the money. Maybe I don't know what is happening in the club, but what is said. But they still try to win the league, which is for the players amazing. They respect it. They respect the club, and they try to do the best for them. Of course, every player wants to do the best for himself, but it's not good that these things happen in the league, because this league can be really good, I think. And if they put more work into the youth, because we had some good players in our team. I think it was Mavrodis, Pantelis, and Fotis, Kotsonis. They are good players, and they are now I think in the national team. I know they're in under 21s. So everybody needs to push these players. Need to give them. You don't need to give them like every game to play, but give them confidence. It's not easy for I know it myself. I had my problem at the start was I had no confidence in myself. And now I'm 25. My head is really calm right now, and I think that's why I had a good season. I think I could have done more, but my head is now calm, and I know what to do. And that's why I'm not afraid. But I know how it is for these boys, especially in Cyprus. It's not easy to do something, as a Cyprus player, like a Cypriot guy. I talked with them, and they said it's not easy. I know it's not easy, but you need to work for that, Especially, I think there needs to be 2 Cypriot players on the pitch. So if you are better than some foreigners, why not? You have a big chance to play. Even then, they need you. Maybe 2 Cypriot players. Why not? So
to be fair to Paralimni, though, they do have a name in Cyprus for producing young players. So, for instance, the Cypriot all-time top goal scorer Michalis Konstantinou is from the Paralimni youth teams. So it's something that is within the ethos of the team. I mean, even the name of the team, Enosis Neon Paralimniou, is the union of young people of Paralimni. Mm-hmm. So it's something that's worked into the team itself. So I think that's a good thing that Paralimni have.
Like I said, there was many young players training at our training.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, sometimes kids come and they give them the chance. Sometimes it lowers a little bit the quality of training, but it's okay. these things happen. You cannot expect maybe from a young guy to come to the first team training and be amazing. And it needs a little bit of time. Everybody needs time to adjust. But I watched the under-19s. It's a good team, you know. I watched them. They were not bad. Some of, I think, like 5-6 players of our team played there and trained with us. So they have a good youth there. It's not bad. Even they have a lot of teams, good pitches for the training, and not good, but they have a lot of pitches for training, a lot of room for them. But like I said, I think it's the most important thing in Cyprus to develop the youth and to bring them near to the first teams. You know, if you don't have your youth, then it's just gonna be like a farmers league. You know, nobody's gonna care about it. If you bring some players out, then it's different. So even good for the national team, you know, when you have some players bringing out in the first teams and you give them confidence, everybody gets better with confidence. I know it myself, you know, if somebody gives you confidence, you're going to get a better player. And here it's different. I think they don't give the young players so much confidence, especially the Cypriot young players, and then it's difficult for them, what I think.
Alex, you mentioned the youngsters and the national team, and there's something that Thasso and I discuss a lot on this podcast, and that's the Cypriots living outside of Cyprus, such as myself and Thasso. Thasso lives in France. I live in the UK. I was born in the UK. Same with Thasso. We have many Cypriots in the UK that were born here that can play for the national team, and some of them are in academies, Watford, West Ham. Some are playing second division football, but it's almost like the Cypriot Football Association does not look outside of Cyprus for these players. I think maybe Okaz, and I don't know if Okaz was born in the UK or Cyprus, but his father played for the national team. But Okaz is the only, I don't know, UK-born Cypriot, I think he was born in the UK, that plays for the under-21s. I don't know anyone else really. So is it a case where GOP needs to start looking not just in the UK, but also Australia, the United States, where there are Cypriot youngsters playing football?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you cannot only look to Cyprus, you know. If you have the chance to get your good players, which have the, let's say, Cypriot passport, and they can play for Cyprus, why not? You know, why not? Everybody wants to play for a national team, especially if one part of the parent is from this country. You know, maybe it's an honor. It's an honor to play for the national team, and for the kids. I think if they ask the kids, I think they would say yes. You know, if they have the chance to play for the national team, of course they will say yes. It's the same with me. If the national team asks me to play, of course I'm going to go and play. It doesn't matter where I'm at in the world, you know. And especially if you, like you say, there's in good academies. These are not bad academies. These are, I think, the only guy we played against the under-21s friendly game. I think there was one guy playing for the under-21s. He's playing at Hanover. I don't know what his name was, but he was really good. I watched the game from outside. Okay. I didn't play this game. And I said to them, why is he playing in the under-21s, you know? Why is he here, you know? Because the second division in Germany, I think he can bring every player here in Cyprus and he will destroy, you know, he will be really good. And I said, why is he playing in the under-21s? Give him the chance in the first team, you know? Only because he's young. You don't need to put him there.
Antonio Foti. He was in Omonia's academy.
Yes, and he's now at, I think, Hanover, and I speak with the guys, you know, I said to them, why is he here, you know? Bring him in the first team, not in the under-21s. What if he plays now, he takes the German papers and he destroys in Germany? He's going to take Germany, you know what I mean?
He went to Frankfurt after Omonia, and then he went to Hanover. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that he's now at Hanover, I think. Yeah, but I watched him on the pitch, and he was acting like a pro, you know. He was acting like a pro player. He was playing like a first team player. He was not playing like a kid, you know.
For sure.
And I said to them, this guy is the only guy who could right now be in the first team, not here. So
the thing is, I think there are many talented players in Cyprus. I'm not saying that there aren't. You know, we've seen Sacha at Abuel. We've seen, you know, Hambo at Omonia, Kakuli, Loizu. Johnny's even went to to Sporting Kansas. So there are talented players. But I think it goes back to a conversation that we had. Oh, blimey, who was it? We had a conversation with another player, and they said that the youngsters are in their comfort zone in Cyprus. You know, they have their families there, they have their friends there.
Sure.
It was Joel.
Joel. There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I speak with the, because how do I say it? I speak with Marko Jevremovic. He was my neighbor in Cyprus and a good friend. We became good friends there.
Very good player as well.
We become good friends there, and I spoke to him after the first month. I said to him, they don't care, you know, they don't care if they lose in training. They don't care. And we were shouting a lot. Swearing and everything, because the Balkan mentality, you know, it's different. If you're not giving everything, even in Austria, I was in Austria in the training in the first team. If you're not giving everything and fucking putting your legs in, you're gonna get in a fight, you know. And here, I think I didn't even fight one time in training in 1 year, you know. And
it's a mentality issue as well. It's
sure. They don't care if they lose. Calm, everything calm. Don't push me too much, you know. And I said to him, it's crazy. I think even one time the coach said to us, we should not shout on the kids so much, you know. Which is okay, understanding. Maybe the kids don't take it good, but I learned on my way. If somebody shouts to me, he wants to help me. It's not a way from that he shouts only for shouting. You know, if somebody's shouting to you only because he wants to shout. But in Austria, they want to help you with this. You know, they care about you. And I took it the same, and I tried the same on this team. You know, and me and Marco were shouting too much, of course, because we have this mentality and we want to win. Even if I play against my father, I want to win. And I don't care who is on the pitch. If you're on the pitch, you're here to win. There is no young and old. There is only good and bad in football. So I don't care how young you are, how old you are. I want to win with you or without you. I don't care. And that's the only thing which I said even to the Cypriot players. I said to them, your problem is your mentality. You know, your problem is your mentality. You don't care. You don't care if you lose in training. You know, I go home and I'm pissed if I lose in training. You just go to the beach or somewhere. You know, this is the difference, and they need to bring the mentality in. To be honest, the coach, you know, SATSIAS, he has this mentality. He is one of the guys from Cyprus who has this mentality. You can see it on him. He's like he has so much fire in himself, even in training. You know, he likes to shout and everything. And I like this. You know, I like when somebody wants you to progress. You know, in football, and helps you. And of course, he gets really crazy sometimes, really crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because when he was playing for Apoel, he was the enforcer. He was the guy.
Yeah. But you can see it. You can see it.
He'd grab the other players and be like,
Yeah. And now he cannot change something on the pitch, you know, because he's the coach. I think even when he trains sometimes with us, he gets crazy, you know. He gets really crazy, and you don't want to lose, of course. And I think he brought a little bit of this mentality to the players. I hope he brought the mentality to the players. But he's one of the guys from Cyprus which I saw that have this mentality, and that's why he had this career, of course, you know. So this is the only difference I think here is the mentality.
The thing is, when I look at the squad that you guys have, there's quite a lot of experience in there. You know, it's a pretty experienced squad. So I'm the kind of person that believes that if you have experienced players, it helps the youngsters, depending on the player's mentality, obviously. You know, I'm an Omonia fan, as you know, and I keep talking about Fodis Babu Liz, who's 37, 38, and he's retired. But I believe that he still needs to be working at the club in some way to be a mentor for the youngsters. You know, and you're seeing senior players in clubs, they just go. And the clubs don't keep them to look after the youngsters. But your squad was a mixture of, you didn't have too many old players. I think there's only one player that was over 35, if I'm not mistaken. The Argentinian, I forget his name. Was it Lucero?
Yeah, Lucero.
Lucero, yeah. So I'm thinking you've got a head coach that is very fiery and, you know, passion. obviously knows the game. You have some senior players that have got experience. I think Fernandez was even at Newcastle, wasn't he?
Newcastle,
and he's only 25, 26. So he's traveled and he's seen the world. And then you have the youngsters, even Rusha is 30 years old. And I'm thinking maybe these youngsters should look up to these players. But at the same time, were the players close to the youngsters? Were they giving them the advice and helping them, do you think?
In our team, it was, for sure. I never felt so welcome and so at home, like in Paralimni, you know. And I think that's why we fight it until the end, you know. Even myself, I spoke all the time with Rushas, you know. And after a time, it was, of course, I want to play every game. I'm a professional. I want to play every game. And I get angry if I don't play, you know. But after a certain amount of time, when we get to know better and everything, for me, I didn't get angry anymore when, let's say, Rushas was playing, because I spoke to him and he said the same. It doesn't matter who of us is playing. We need to win the games, you know, and because I think we had the lowest budget by far. We had just us, you know. Nobody was helping us. There was no help from anybody outside. And this is what the coach was always saying. Here in this locker room, these are the only people who are with us and will stay with us. There is nobody else who will help us in this league, you know. And this is how it was until the end. But we became, I think, a family. I think it was. I never felt like that, you know. I said to them, I never felt like that. I could go with everybody out, you know. Even if I ask anybody to go on a coffee, everybody would say yes, you know. And we went out sometimes, you know, in Mappa and these things, you know. It was really nice year for me. I think my best year for myself, even from living. And I like the people. I like everybody there. The Paralimni is a nice city. It felt like my city here, you know. It felt really good, and maybe that's why I had a good season. But still, I'm sorry that it didn't came out like we wanted to. But there is other factors, you know. It cannot be only us, because I think we won 4 out of 6 last games, so we did everything we could do. And yeah, it was an amazing year from this side, you know. From the personal side, it was amazing. I cannot say anything.
Well, bro, you know what? I don't know if you've been watching the podcast, but Thasso and I have been big fans of yours. And I think not just for the goals that you scored or the type of goals, like that one against AKRITAS, which we're going to talk about in a minute, you know, right? But it's the movement, how you move into the channels, how you drop deep, how you know the penalty area. There are some strikers that are instinctive, and there are many strikers that know the penalty area, where to be. It's almost as if you think 2 steps ahead of everyone. And I think this is why I enjoy watching you play, because I don't watch the ball, I watch the player and the movement, how you pull the defenders out of position, how you play off their shoulder, all these little elements. And I kept on saying to Thasso, no disrespect to Paralimni, but if Alex was at an Omonia, at an Aboel, you'd get 15 goals, no problem. No problem.
I think I could have got 15 in Paralimni, I'm sure. I think I missed a penalty, and I had 2 chances against Salamina, which I need to score. This one header, this one volley. I had these chances. Even now, when I came home, when I'm sleeping, I'm dreaming of the chances I missed, you know. I'm not dreaming of the goals I scored, and I know how many goals I could have scored. Of course, you cannot score every goal. It's not possible. If I score every goal, I'm not here. I mean, I don't know, Real Madrid. But no, it was difficult. It was not easy to score goals in Paralimni. I'm going to be honest. It's not easy, because you need to work so much defensively. You know, we needed to work so much defensively. There was games I had 13 kilometers running, you know. It's not easy to come then into a chance and score, because your head is not fresh all the time. And the most important thing is to be fresh in the head when you come into a chance. And yeah, I scored, I think 6 headers, I'm not sure, or something, which was good for me. I have a good heading ability. I like to head the ball. This is the only thing. Maybe that's why I like to head the ball. But yeah, I think I don't remember one goal which was not nice this year. I think even my mother said to me, every goal was nice. You know, she liked it. Every goal was nice. And I was like, yeah,
Excellent.
it was, but it's not easy to score these goals, you know. And I'm happy that I did. Like I said, I wanted to score more. I always want to score more, and I could have scored more, but it's okay, like how it is, you know. That's how it is.
The thing is, I understand what you're saying about the chances that you miss, because every striker misses opportunities. But I look at, for example, Gvilidaya. I look at, for example, let me think, Jairo, the top goal scorer in the league. I believe if you were at a Buffo, an Aris, an Omonia, you would have got more goals because you'd have been more chances would have been created for you. And I think it goes back to what you said about with Paralimni, counter-attacking football, low block, not very high pressing in most of the game. And I think your opportunities were limited in terms of chance creation, but also you started a lot of games on the substitutes bench. So you're coming off the bench, you weren't playing consistently 90 minutes. And it must have been frustrating because you're 25 years old. And yeah, you're still learning. And as a striker, you probably don't peak until you're maybe 28, 30. And I'm looking at you, I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, if you're playing at an Omonia, or again, I'm sorry to repeat myself, but you're going to get a load of goals because of your movement, because of your ability. So I think it must have been frustrating for you. And it's frustrating for us as football fans as well to see this guy that knows the penalty area so well.
Oh, yeah, I think I played yeah, of course, for me it was frustrating, but like I said, I didn't had something to say because we were a team, and I didn't complain too much after. But I think I was like 50% starting 11, 50% bench. I think it was something like that. I'm not sure. Of course, like I said, I want to play every game. I want to play every game from the start. And I said, one time I said it to the coach, if you expect me to don't be angry, then I'm on the wrong place, you know. I'm like this because I want to play the games. I want to score as much. I want to help the team as much as possible. Maybe some games Rochas helps more the team than me, you know. Maybe Lamy helps the team more than me in some games. But I still want to play every game. That doesn't matter. I don't care about these things, you know, because that's how I think. And yeah, but I still played enough, I think. It's the first time I played so much. And this is the good thing. It's the first time I played so much, and I showed off, you know, when I played so much. Like I said, my head is calm now. Even in the games, I'm really calm. I'm not nervous. I don't think too much. The only thing was at the end, it was a little bit exhausting for me, you know, because I didn't have preseason. I came into the week where the league started, you know. This was the only thing which was a little bit difficult for me because I needed to get fit in the season, throughout the season, you know. And this is the thing which is the problem sometimes. Maybe it helped me after, but in the start it was difficult for me. That's why I didn't start so many games, and maybe the coach watched that I don't get injured or something. But yeah, but I did everything I could.
And the next question I have to ask this, I'm sorry if I'm putting you on the spot, but we know the situation with the envelopes or the yellow warning, the red alert, as they call it. For the benefit of our listeners, there were two games that were flagged up by the ethics committee. It was Salamina against Paralimni and Olympiacos against Doxa. The Salamina game was marked as a yellow warning, which meant there was suspicious betting, but it wasn't a severe one. But the red warning was the Olympiacos Doxa game. Now, going back to the Salamina game, which I believe you guys lost 4-2, there were two penalty incidents that you guys were denied. There was the handball in the first half and the penalty shot where the player was pulled down in the box. Yeah. And the next day, 2 days later, the Cypriot FA said, "Oh, we got it wrong. Both of them should have been penalties." Now, you guys got relegated. I wouldn't say as a result of that, but it made a big difference. Can you tell us your thoughts about the situation? And did you know about the warnings originally?
I think we talked about it one day before that because the Cypriot players, they know the news and everything. And from my view on the pitch, I think the first penalty was when I shot and this guy pulled the hands up. And I said to the referee, but I explained to him, I said to him, if he stands in the wall from a free kick and he pulls the hands up, it's going to be a penalty, right? And he said he didn't know what to answer, I said to him, but if you do it in the wall and you pull it up, it's a penalty. There is no talking about, because you're not allowed to pull the hands up to your head. You're not supposed to block your head. And I was sure it was a penalty. I was sure in this moment that, because I saw what he did. We didn't get it, okay, but we needed to be 2-0 up before that. We had 2 big chances to score, which it was our mistake. But of course, then I think it was the pull, which I saw from on the pitch. I was like, nobody's even talking about it, Nobody's even. I think maybe it was our mistake because we didn't go to the referee and attacked him and they, hey, pulled him. But if we need to do these things, then I don't know, because there were so many things in our games where there was nothing, and then from nowhere he goes to the VAR and gives a penalty against us. This is the thing. It's not about what he gave, or what he didn't give, but there are things which I think Aris in the first rounds, I chipped the ball over a leg in the 16 box, and he stops the ball with the hand, and I'm like, how is this not a penalty? And these things went throughout our whole season, not only in the last games. I'm not speaking about the last games. Throughout the whole season, I think we lost like 10-15 points from these things, from these small things. And we are Paralimni, we are not Upwell. We make 30-40 points, and if you make so many mistakes in against us, it's difficult to stay in the league. I don't want to say it now, hey, the referees do it on purpose. Of course not. Maybe it's a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes, but it's just weird that the mistakes happen so often against us. This is the only thing I don't like, and which I felt sorry for the team, because I think we deserve to stay in the league, football-wise and everything. But these envelopes, I don't know. It's weird,
Well, I mean, there's also the additional thing. So Stel kind of breezed past it, but the Olympiacos Doxa game, they actually found Olympiacos guilty and fined them €50,000 for being involved in the suspicious betting for that game. Yeah. And again, we go back to Olympiacos conceded a penalty in the 97th minute?
Yeah, 96th, 97th. Yeah, scored in the 101st.
I watched the game, I watched the game on the phone. I was like, fuck no.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a few situations as well, not just with Paralimni, but it happened with AKRITAS as well. So I go back to a game against AL where they conceded a penalty in like the 90th minute, and AL scored from it. And then 1 minute later, it's the first attack after that, AKRITAS get into the box, and the exact same tackle happens in the IL penalty box, and they don't give anything for it. So it's something that there's a few errors that are creeping in from the referees on the pitch, but as well, there's the argument as to why is VAR there if it's not to correct these mistakes, isn't it? Now, obviously, the league is putting a lot of money in for bringing in these foreign referees. Now, do you think that this is a suitable solution to bringing in referees from other countries rather than training in-house, or do you think it's the same kind of situation that they have with the youth teams?
To be honest, we had, I think it was the Italian referee in the last game against Anorthosis, and you felt it immediately, that he's not from here. You felt it on the pitch, you felt it from his presence. And I was speaking after to our players. I was like, That's a referee, you know. If you go to talk to him, he will talk to you, which is a good thing. He will talk to you, but he will talk in a respectful way with you, you know, and you will not have much things to answer to him, you know. Speak 2-3 things, but finished. And the only thing which I didn't like about the Cypriot referees is I felt like when I went to them, I felt I'm speaking like to policemen who are against you, like you did something, you know. And they're like so not respecting the players when you. I'm allowed to speak to you. Why should I not be allowed to speak to you? I'm not swearing or something. I'm speaking to you. So speak to me. Be respectful in these things. I think it was Doxa when we played away, when we won 1-0. I was speaking to him. I was not speaking to him. I was speaking to one of our players. I was shouting to him. And he just comes into the conversation. Like, what do you want? You know, I'm not speaking to you. And I said to him, I was like, what do you want from me? I'm not speaking to you. What do you want? And after, I made like an easy tackle and he gives me immediately the yellow. And I knew it's because of this thing, you know. I knew, because it's not even a yellow card for this tackle. But this is the things I don't like about the Cypriot referees. They need to speak more with the players on the pitch, be more respectful, because I don't know, maybe they feel hated or something, I don't know, but the Italian referee, you felt it on the pitch. It was, for me, it was amazing refereeing. Even when everybody went down in the box, we wanted some penalties, he was like, you know, just go up, and everybody saw it was not a penalty, and you feel it, and he will not go to the wall or something. He was like, just no, finish, next. And it's a way maybe to teach the Cypriot referees, you know, if you bring these guys in, maybe they should bring guys to teach these things. I think how the referees act, they should, on the pitch, they should teach them these things, you know, because for me, the presence of the referee on the pitch is really important, you know. If he has a good presence, a positive presence, you know, it's good for the game. There will be not so many fouls or hectic in the game if he keeps the game flowing and knows when to keep it flowing. And I watched the game, the cup final, when Marciniak was
Marciniak did the Champions League final, didn't he? Yeah.
Of course he's refereeing the Champions League final. If you watch him in the cup, you know, it's a difference. It's a big difference. And you see the players are respecting him. They see how he's acting on the pitch, and there is no so much shouting to him. Nobody wants to shout to him. Even you don't want to shout to him, because you feel him. You feel him on the pitch. He's there. And maybe they should bring the referees in sometime, not always, to show them how it's done, you know.
Marciniak used to be a footballer as well, so he understands the pitch.
Yeah.
He understands situations, and I think that's important.
Yeah, of course. If he knows what the players think, he knows how players think. These things help him. Yeah, it's weird.
And also, sorry to interrupt, but I think in terms of the fitness as well, because he used to be a professional footballer, he can run around the pitch for 90 minutes. Yeah. And no disrespect to referees, because I couldn't run around the pitch for 90 minutes, not with my health at the moment. Anyway, I go to the gym, don't worry, I'm working out. But in terms of the fitness, the stamina, understanding the game, the mental side of things, I think it's important that you have referees that were footballers. That's what I believe anyway.
Yeah, the thing is, what I know, I asked around about the referees and everything. I think you need to start really, really early to be on the top, you know, to be in the top leagues, to referee. I think there is it's like starting to play football. It's the same. Like football, you can play maybe a little bit earlier, but you need to start early to go to the refereeing things and to be on the top. I don't know how it is in Cyprus, but I know how it is here. It's like starting a football career to start a refereeing career. The only thing is you can work next to these things. That's why the referees have jobs and everything. But yeah, it's not an easy job. I know it's not an easy job to be a referee. especially in the top. I think it's even more difficult in these leagues where we are right now, like Cyprus, because not every player is maybe as respectful and these things, and every mistake is seen here in the top the same. But here you have the VAR, and they don't. I think they don't know how to use it. I don't know how the connection is between them, but I think they still don't know how to use it properly.
Yeah, I mean, there's again.
You're going to start thus off with the lines.
I was going to say with the lines, but it's also part of it is the low number of camera angles that they have to work with. So, for instance, I'm thinking back to Doxa's goal versus Apoel, where there was a clear handball, and when you look at the angles that were available to the VAR referee at the time, they couldn't see a handball, so they couldn't say it was to disallow it. But there was a camera angle behind the goal, and you clearly see him whack the ball with the hand as he's falling. And Apoel, the club, made that camera available for people to see, to be like, what's this? What's this thing here? If that's not handball. So, it's you're right. They do not have they do not have the expertise, I think, to deal with it. But part of it is to do with the technology is there, and they are using the technology. It's just that they don't have the amount of
brain power.
Well, not just the brain power, but the visuals to go with the technology. It's a bit. They brought in the hard stuff to bring in, but they haven't done the easy stuff to bring in to go with it. It's a weird one.
You know how it feels? It feels like when you bring if you bring Messi to Doxa, it's the same. This is the VAR here in Cyprus.
I want to see this now.
Bring Cristiano to Cyprus.
That's how they don't know what to do with him. That's how I think.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not. That's what I think.
Bro, I have one more question about the referees and VAR and the decisions that went against you guys. Was this something that was discussed by your teammates? Did you guys get together and discuss these decisions and feel? Because I think that, and this is going to sound really bad, and this is my opinion, I think that the bigger the club you are in Cyprus, the more decisions you get your way. That's my opinion.
To be honest, sometimes we were in the locker room sitting, and we couldn't believe what happened. When you watch it after the game, we were sitting in the locker room, and nobody could believe that these things happen. And especially when they happen, like every second, third week. Sometimes you're in disbelief. And of course, we talked. Like I said, the coach often said, "Nobody's going to help us. Nobody's going to help us to stay in the league. No referee. They're going to be always against us." That's what he said from the beginning. From the beginning, he knew how it's going to be, and that's how it went to be until the end. And of course, for us players, it was hard because we gave everything. We really gave everything. And I was talking to Marco, and because about we believe in God and everything, he said, I hope it comes back, in the end. I hope it comes back. Everything what happened in the start, I hope it comes back. And then when we started to win the games in the end, I think we fucked it up in the groups. We started really bad, and but we still believed. I think we were 11 points behind, and we managed to go on 1 point until the last game. And we hope now it's going to come back. Now we're going to stay in the league. But we didn't do it. But still, it was not easy for the team. It was not easy. I'm sure it was not easy for anybody, because we spoke about it every time after training, in training, and in the locker room. It was a big thing what is happening to us in some games, but We couldn't do anything about it. That's the thing. This is the biggest problem. We couldn't do anything about it. We could just come to training and to the games and give everything. That's what we could do. And nobody helped us. Not even the FA, or how is it called there. Nobody helped us. Nobody. Oh, what can we buy from the apology? Nothing. We still lost.
Yeah.
Did you feel the support from the people, not necessarily just fans of Paralimni, but from people in general? Because at least from what I could see on social media, everybody was kind of pushing for Paralimni to kind of try to lift themselves up above Doxa, because Doxa was seen as this as the team that was almost. I don't want to. People were alleging that Doxa had paid to be able to avoid. So everybody was kind of supporting Paralimni as like the second team to try and push to get that. Did you feel that? Did the players talk about that at all?
Yeah, even in the city, when you went, let's say, for coffee or something, and somebody recognized you, the first thing they started, it was like, I know it's impossible what the referees are doing to you guys. It was always one topic which they started to talk about. It was this topic. Everybody saw it. Of course, everybody sees what's happening. Everybody sees it. But we still felt that they are supporting us, because I think because of the team, because this team gave everything. Everybody felt that we are giving everything. And what can you do if you give everything? There is nothing else to do. Maybe the quality lacks. Okay, maybe our quality was not so big, but we put that on the side with the work we did. So the fans really, especially in the last game, there was so many people from Paralimni there. Was amazing, and I wish that we could win this game, but we didn't. So, but still, we felt the love. We still felt the love. Of course, sometimes they were shouting and these things, but that's normal. That happens. But in Paralimni, I think nobody was expecting that we will come back until the end, which we did, and it was only plus points for our team. And
yeah, I think with a lot of supporters in Cyprus, the main thing, I won't talk about Apoel and teams like that, because the main thing for quite a few fans for Apoel is win. But especially in a lot of other teams, the first thing that fans ask for is for 100%, and we've seen it a few times when they believe a player isn't given 100%. Like, for instance, what happened with Anorthos's kind of at the first half of the season. But when they see players giving their all, then they will support those players to do everything they can.
They are coming because of us into the stadium, which
exactly. Yeah.
This is the thing, and we are coming because of them to play, and if there is no fans, it's not fun. If they only come to shout, it's not fun, and the Cyprus community of fans is like nearly the same with Balkan, the Greek, it's normal to shout, and when you're from the Balkans, I've been there, I've been in Bosnia and played there. It's especially when you don't understand. Here, I don't understand everything what they are saying, which is a good thing sometimes. But in Bosnia, I could understand everything, and it's not easy to take these things as a player. Some players take it and push it in a positive way. Some players push it in a negative way and go down. But I would say it's the same mentality like in the Balkans, that the fans think they can do everything what they want, Of course, we come because of them, but we are still people, you know. We are still people, and if you give us the support, and we will try to. I'm that type of guy. I will give everything. If somebody supports me, I will give everything. If I feel the confidence, I will give everything, and that's how it goes, and that's how football goes, you know. We can only be good if I have confidence. If you don't have confidence, even Messi is not good without confidence, you know. This is how it is.
Well, bro, you mentioned confidence, and that goal against AKRITAS has got confidence written all over. Can you talk us through that goal, please?
I was sick, I think, like for 2 weeks. I was like really, really sick. And then I came back. It was before the group started. I think AKRITAS was like the third game or something in the groups. And I came back into the training, and the coach put me on the bench. And when I'm on the bench, I'm like fired up a little bit. And I think we were 2-0 down. I'm not sure. 2-0? No. It was 1-0. I came in, then 1-1, 2-1, and then 2-2.
Yeah.
I don't know. These things just happen. I know that I can do these things. You know, I know what I can do with my technique. I don't want to say it's amazing, but I was Zlatan. I love Zlatan Ibrahimovic and these things. And when you watch him, maybe these things are stuck in your in your little brain, and you don't think about it. But if the possibility comes, we just do it. You know. And this game, the ball came there. I could have taken it with the left, I think, but I still did it with the back heel because I don't know. I just did it. So it was like a automatism in my head to do it. Luckily, it went in, and it looked amazing. Yeah, and I sent it to my friends, and everybody's like, "No way, no way!" I was like, "Yeah, crazy."
Bro, it was incredible because I remember I was at Old Trafford when Ronaldo scored a goal like that against Aston Villa. Sorry, Tasso. And I was behind the goal, and it happened so quickly. And you saw the ball go behind him, and the next thing you know, it's in the goal. Yeah. And you're thinking, how you don't know how to celebrate because you don't realize your brain hasn't processed what has actually happened. It was incredible. And then you did it, and I had the same reaction. I was like, "Wallahi, what is this? How did you do it?" But it was amazing. For me, that goal and Sadiq's goal against Olympiacos were my two favorite this season.
The Sadiq goal was nice, but I think Sadiq he flicked it, but he didn't know where he flicked it. The good thing is the defender didn't even know where he flicked it. You know, he was like lost a little bit. I saw the goal, yeah. But even like you said, this moment, I didn't even realize at the start. You know, after when I watched it, I was like, "What the fuck?" You know. It's crazy. But you need to put so much power. It's not easy to take this back heel because, especially, it came from in the air, you know. And when you flick it, you don't feel how much power you give the ball because it's the back heel. You don't have so much, you don't have the feeling of hitting the ball. Yeah. You don't have the feeling of hitting the ball. And when I flicked it, I felt it's going strong. You know, maybe it could go in. I turned, it was already in. And felt good. Especially it was like I think it was for 2-1. We were up.
Yeah.
And then after we conceded another one, but yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Well, I've got some quick fire questions. Tasso, I don't know if you've got any more questions for now, Tasso, and then we can go into the quick fire, or shall we just go? I don't know.
No, go into it. I've got one. So you get off the plane, Cyprus, I'm guessing is Larnaca, right? Just because it's close to Paralimni. Like, you arrive on the island, you go to the hotel or wherever you're staying. Like, when did you notice that, okay, this is Cyprus?
From the heat. I think I was like it was so hot. It was so fucking hot. It was like, because I'm in Austria, it's not like that, you know. It's a different type of hot. Here it's like this wet. It's like you cannot stop sweating, you know. And I was talking to my mother. I was like, "What the fuck?" You know. I love skiing and everything. I love the cold weather. I'm a cold weather guy. This is the first time I was in Finland for 1 year, and there it's like in winter it's like minus 25 degrees, and now I'm in Cyprus. It's like from black to white. It's crazy. But and the trainings were at 7 in the morning at the start because it was too hot. And when I saw after the training, I went sometimes to the beach, and then I was like, okay, now this is Cyprus. I saw it, and I went to Mappa, I think, in the first or second week to see how the city is, and it was stacked. It was like full of people. I think I just went one time then after because I don't like so many people. I'm not the type of guy for this, but I really like Cyprus, to be honest. Even my parents came to visit me often, and my father said, I need to move here because it's perfect for me. I was like, yeah, why not? Even me, I want to stay to play in Cyprus because I like the league from the playing point and from the country and the people. It fits me, but we will see what happens. So I'm not sure, but yeah.
Okay, time for the quick fire questions, my friend. Okay, so you mentioned your teammates, and I know you have obviously your I won't say your favorite teammates, but the ones you got on with the most. If you want to talk about the training sessions that you guys had, were there any players who didn't like to train or were, you always poked fun at them because they were really bad at training? Maybe in rondos or I don't know.
Or one guy for sure. It was Pantelis Gabriel. He's right now in the under 21s. I always told him, no, bro, you're not at training. You're on the beach or something. You're not at training. He was like, he's a good player. He has a really good technique and everything, but in training he was like he didn't care. And I told him every time, push yourself, but I was speaking to a wall.
Okay, was there anyone always late for training that was never on time?
What I remember, it was Julien Lamy.
Okay.
Yeah, Lamy was like I never knew when Lamy was coming. I was not sure when he was in the locker room. I was not sure. But in the end, he was better and better. He came on time.
Okay, he knew the directions. I guess he got lost. Okay, so again, when you talk about your teammates, who would you say was the most entertaining? Maybe the biggest joker or someone that was, I don't know, good singer or dancer or whatever, something like
that? I would say it was me, but I like to joke around really much.
Okay.
I'm like that type of guy. I bring a little bit of freshness, I think, but maybe he was there for a quick time, a short time. Floris Javet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just he loved to dance and joke around, But Javet and Marko Jevremovic he would like to joke around, especially with me. We had like a good relationship, but if you ask the other ones, I think they will say me. I'm sure they will say me. So,
what did you do? Were you pranking people or just?
I was joking around with everybody. Even with except from SATSIAS, because you respect him more, and there is a difference. But the other guys, I was joking around with everybody. To the fitness coaches and everything, I was joking. And when they did something wrong, every time I was joking. But the thing about this is, I don't care if anybody jokes with me. If I joke around with other people, I take the jokes from them. It's not. I like this. If I see people who likes to joke with me, then I joke with them. This is a good thing for me. And then after it was fun. It was fun in our locker room and even on the pitch.
Brilliant. Well, as you know, this show is called This is Mappa, and it comes from the phrase "This is Cyprus," because as you know, whenever something happens in Cyprus and you can't explain it, the normal reason for it is "This is Cyprus." So it could be how people park their cars, or I don't know, drink coffee 100 times a day.
Yeah.
Your experience in Cyprus, can you think of anything where you can say, this is Cyprus? Do you remember anything?
The driving.
Just the driving.
The driving. When I said to Marco all the time, I said, I'm going to open a driving school here because the people are really shit at driving. Even if for me, it's on the wrong side, you know. In Austria, we drive on the right side. And I said, I need 1 week to drive here, you know, but these people, they need their whole lives to drive good. They are so slow, and maybe it's because of the mentality, because they don't care to drive fast, you know. They're just calm and they just drive. There is no pressure.
Sorry, Alex. Did you say slow?
In Paralimni, for me, it was slow.
Paralimni. Okay. No, because a lot of people's experience is the opposite. It says 50 kph on the speed limit, and they're doing 90, 100. Just
yeah, for me, I was catched one time. I think I paid 100 euros here on the driveway. I was driving too fast, but they are so slow drivers here. Or not slow, bad drivers. I would say bad.
Yeah, bad. That's correct.
Bad drivers, really bad drivers, and of course the coffee. But the coffee, I love the coffee. I was drinking every day Freddo espresso, and the problem is there is no Freddo espresso in Austria. And my godfather, he has a restaurant and he has a bar. I said to him, you need to put this in, you know, in the menu, because this is amazing. You know, I love it.
Do you know what? This Freddo espresso must be like a Balkan thing, because Duris, I met up with in Cyprus, he had Freddo espresso. Marko Shepovic, same thing. Stefan Shepovic drinks this. What is it with Freddo espresso? I don't understand.
I don't know, but we like to drink coffee. The Balkan people like to drink coffee. You know, we like to go into the coffee shop, sit there and talk for 5 hours and drink coffee. And when I came here, I went to Zorbas because my flat was near to Zorbas.
Zorbas, come on!
And
sorry,
I tried the coffee, and I tried every type of coffee there. You know, every country, until I came to Brazil, and until the end I just drank Freddo espresso Brazil, and every day I came into the Zorbas, they knew already what I want, you know. And me and Marco were drinking. He was drinking iced latte, and I was drinking Freddo espresso, and it's amazing. I loved it. The only thing is at the start it was too cold for us, so we had a little bit of throat problems.
Yeah.
But after we get used to it, but I love it. I love the coffee there.
Did you ever try Mr. Brown, the can coffee?
No, never. No.
Oh, see, you're missing out.
Hashtag not sponsored.
No, we're not sponsored. No, we're not sponsored by Zorbaz or Mr. Brown. So if anyone is watching, you can sponsor this pod, no problem. You mentioned the Zorbaz, the shops. Which other Cypriot, I don't know, traditions were you aware of, or did you get involved in? Because I know at Easter time, a lot of them go to Droros, the mountains, to have their barbecues. And Zorba is, for me, part of Cypriot heritage now. It is.
Yeah.
So what other things did you learn about Cyprus and the culture?
They put, you know what, the only thing, they put a lot of, how is it called? It's cement, I think.
Cement, yeah.
They put it in the meat. Oh, I'm wrong.
Cement?
No, not cement. Not cement. How is it called? Wait.
Salt?
No. The sweet thing. Wait. Just
what is it in German? I'll Google translate it.
Zimt.
Zimt. How do you spell that?
Wait, I'm gonna say it. It's called cinnamon. Sorry, cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
They put cinnamon in a lot of things in food. I'm sure they put it. And I was like eating when I came to Cyprus. We were eating at. We had like for the team to go eat after the training. And I was like, why is cinnamon in their meat? You know.
Yes. So what did you have, like chef tagliere? That's normally where they put it, or.
We had like a nice lady. We had a nice lady who was cooking for us. She passed away, I think, 2 days ago. Wow. But she was amazing for us. You know, she was really amazing for us. She cooked every day, and she was so nice to us. And she loved our team and the guys. And we came there to eat every day. and she make all different kinds of food, and we were joking around with her. She loved Coca-Cola, and we brought her every time Coca-Cola to drink. But yeah, they put cinnamon in the meat. But and one thing, I went to the taverns. I love the taverns to eat there. I loved, especially when my family came, we went there. But I took for too many people. I thought it's gonna be not enough, but it was too much. I think I took
Did you get the meze?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the meze in Cyprus is different from everywhere else. You know, you get like 30 different little plates. You know.
Yeah, I couldn't walk after it. It was too much. I couldn't walk after it. But it's nice. I like their food. The Greek or Cyprus food. It's good. It's good. It's nice.
And also one more thing that I forgot to ask with regards to Paralimni, they have a connection with West Ham.
Yeah.
And I know for the Conference League game against AEK, some West Ham players went to Paralimni, the stadium. Mark Noble was there. They shared the shirts and everything. Did you know much about this? Were you involved in it at all? One
time we were sitting in the video room watching the game. And all of a sudden, Mark Noble comes in, you know. He was like behind us, and then he just walked up with the president and these guys. I was like, I know this guy from somewhere, you know, he's familiar. And then I was like, oh, it's Mark Noble, you know. It was like really nice to see him, and he watched the training afterwards. And I think he came two or three times to the club. He has a house somewhere in Paralimni.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think he has a house somewhere in Paralimni. Yeah, it was surprising, to be honest. It was really surprising. And then when they play against AEK, there was many people coming to Paralimni to the stadium. There was like a small West Ham party, and Mark was there and everybody, and we trained next to on this day, and everybody was there drinking, speaking. But it's a nice thing for the club, I think. Really nice.
And they went on to win the Conference League as well.
Yeah. So if they need a striker, pick me up.
See, Scamacca's going back to Italy on loan to Roma, I think. So yeah, if they need another striker, get in touch with Alex. But yeah, I was going to ask something else about the whole West Ham situation. Oh, I forgot now. It doesn't matter. I'll ask you on WhatsApp anyway. But yeah, Alex, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on this podcast. Thank you so much for your time. I know that you're on your holidays now, so I really value your efforts and everything. And thank you for playing in Cyprus. And hopefully, we'll see you back in Cyprus for my team, I'm hoping.
Oh, my God.
I'm just saying.
My God, man.
What do you mean? What? He's not going to go to your club? Why would he go to your club?
No, he's not. They don't pay the players. Don't go to my club.
I'm going to leave that bit.
Allegedly.
Well, that's been another edition of This is Mappa. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Before we leave, we're doing a giveaway. And to mark Man City's treble, we're giving away this Raheem Sterling little figure. So all you need to do is follow us on Instagram at This is Mappa, tag 2 friends, and we're going to do the announcement very, very soon. As you can see at the bottom, Alex is on Instagram at Aleksandar_ACO_. See, we don't forget this. And Thasso is at Flares Cafes. So we'll be back very, very soon, boys and girls. Thank you for tuning in.